Hi everyone, this is Susie from Minnesota Zone 4, and this is weekly garden tour number 8. It is now June 20th. Things are starting to fill out a little bit more. We got about 4 or 5 days of rain predicted and some warm temps coming in after that. But yep, lots of rain. I'm hoping there's a break in there so I can kind of work. Today it's supposed to start around 1 o'clock. I'm going to try and do as much weeding as possible. My little tree here has the red seed pods. I think that's really neat looking. My town just sprayed for mosquitoes, so I don't have my bug suit on. Hopefully it took care of them. It is a little breezy, so hopefully the sound quality is pretty good. I think it's about 70 degrees right now. This lamium looks gorgeous, but I just noticed this today, or just now I should say. I have all the pink in here, light pink, and then way back in here, doesn't that look like it's a little darker? It's kind of neat. I like lamium. I don't think it's too aggressive of a ground cover, easy to control. Columbine is still blooming. I am just shocked by this one. That's been a long time. I think I'll definitely have to look into some more columbine. The little birds deposited that one, so I have to thank them. They changed my viewpoint on columbine. Still have to mulch this. I think right now I'm going to leave it until I get the rain and then give it a good mulch. It's filled in quite nicely. This one's perked up a bit. I still have the log there just to help brace it up. We did get some rain the other day. It was a nice amount, but definitely could use a little bit more than that. We haven't been horribly dry, but enough where I'm starting to think about watering. You can see my snow on the mountain here is blooming. I will be deadheading that. Definitely don't want that to set seed. So far I've been able to control it. It hasn't gone too far into this bed. I know it's an aggressive ground cover, but it's very pretty too. I know these trees are kind of difficult to get stuff to grow. My turtle head this year over here looks fantastic, and I think it's because if you look in here, the snow on the mountain died out just a little bit. It's filling in again, but I want to say this is a common milkweed. I don't think it ever blooms here because it doesn't get enough sun, but I am leaving it. I had some in my lawn that I mowed, but the rest I'll just leave. My honeysuckle bush here is starting to get little blossoms on it. This is an aggressive grower, but it is native to my climate, so we'll see. Asiatic lilies. I was just seeing what was in it. Not blooming yet. will be in a little bit. I would say the next week or so. This one will be blooming soon just because it's close to the house again. I've been cutting peonies. My beagle is a little, he doesn't care for the scent. I think it's a little too strong for his nose, but I love the scent. This one's gorgeous. It does get a little floppy. I do have a cage, but because it's by the house, I just think it puts on a tremendous amount of growth real quick, and then it gets a little less sun than what it really needs. But the nice thing about the peonies is even though once it's done blooming, it leaves beautiful foliage. So I might just leave this because it kind of works with this area. And I did get more blooms from it than what I was expecting. I had trimmed up my comfrey here. It was flopping over. I left it there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it, chop it up, and kind of put it around plants. Figure let it feed the soil on the plants. Brunnera is still blooming. Just going to let it bloom until it's completely done, and then I will deadhead it. Goat spirit is starting to bloom. And the bees absolutely love this. Is there one? Yep, there is one on there. I thought that was just a little leaf. I like watching stuff like that. Hopefully that didn't bore you. Let's see. Just kind of do a view here. Everything's looking really good. So far I have not seen any earwigs, which is good and bad because I had aphids in one of my containers. And if I remember, I'll show you. Not the aphids, but what it looks like. This is doing pretty good here. Definitely need some rain. Been watering it. And then I have a trench here. I did caladiums in the front all around. I'm waiting for those warmer temps. They definitely like that. I know I have mulch kind of mounded up in here. I'll probably just take some of it and put in other spots in my garden. Going to go this way. I still can't believe the size of this one humpback whale. This is doing really good. I've been laying sluggo out. I don't know if this is slug damage or if this is bunny damage. I'm going to say more bunny right now. There's one around here that just is a nuisance. Actually, I think I will go this way. It won't take too long. I had a lot of digging in here also where I planted my caladiums. I haven't seen anything popping up yet. This is a neat one, how it grows. Kind of vase-like. I like the size of that one. That got huge too. This is a new container here that I put in here just to add a pop of color. It's dragon wing begonia, and then I have some caladiums that were left over planted in there. We'll see how that works out. So far, nothing coming up in Sheldon. I've had a lot of digging in there also. But I bet with those temps that are coming up, they're talking mid-80s next week. That should make everything just pop, especially the tropicals. Caladiums definitely like it warmer. Gives me time. In a week, if things don't start popping up as far as my containers, I can go to my nursery, and I know right now they have some deals going on. Maybe pick something up just for a pop of color in there. I can smell my peonies from here. My honeysuckle has, this is the best it's ever looked. Absolutely gorgeous. And the fact that it's blooming that unbelievably with this pine tree and this one over here. Love it. It was cloudy and then the sun decided to come out. Lady's mantle. Looks really good also. More Asiatic lilies in here. You can see they have buds. This one is still a little smushed, and it doesn't have as many buds because there was a host in here that was kind of shading it. So hopefully now that that one was moved, it's kind of amazing how it was a huge, huge hosta that was in here, and then this little guy was back in here, and how this is all just filled in. You wouldn't even know that I took a plant out of there. This poor little Astilbe back here, unfortunately, is getting shaded out, and this was one of my favorites. It's a nice white bloom. That's too bad. I might have to move that one, or maybe move the hosta next to it. That is a shame. Spiderwort is still doing really good. I love that purple color. Goat's beard is huge this year. If you can see, I have that stake back there for the garden art. I don't think it's showing up on camera very well. Maybe right there. I'm going to have to move that because that butterfly is definitely going to hit these. It's over 6 feet tall. What a focal point. This is a long bloomer too, so I highly recommend this. For my zone, it doesn't spread very rapidly. Again, I'm zone 4, so I think it's been here at least 4 or 5 years. I know other people it spreads a little, but I'd be fine with that. It's gorgeous. Oh, I feel one mosquito on my shoulder. So far, not too bad. Can actually be out here. Let's see, how is this little dude doing? Sometimes I forget about this one on the bench. So cute. And I did make this container. I got the recipe from a hypertufa trough recipe. I think it's equal parts peat moss, perlite, and Portland cement. That was fun. I had lots of fun making that. That was my better one. I have another one somewhere, not in the garden, but that one didn't, it's okay. I still have it. But it was fun getting dirty. I can't believe how well that one turned out. And it's nice and light too. I had wanted it for succulents, but that works. Turtle head looks like 2 shrubs next to the bench. That's a late bloomer. When I start seeing that, it's good and bad. Just because it's good because it's beautiful, but bad because that means that fall's coming. Primrose should be blooming here soon. I wanna say, I bet, in a few days, because if you can see, they look like they're just starting to open up a little bit. It's an aggressive grower, but it's easy to maintain. It's got a shallow root system. I think what I'm going to do is once it's done blooming, let it put on its show, and then dig some of this up and give my hostas back here some room. I don't know, because I still think it's gorgeous. But those hostas are gorgeous too. And I might dig some up and move it someplace else. I don't know. You can see, it likes to grow. Things are doing pretty good here. This is yellowing a little bit. I think it's just some shock going on. Definitely needs some rain. That'll help it. You can see my lady's mantle also. I think what I'm going to do is just give it a good watering, and I'll probably do that, and then we'll get like 5 inches of rain. I don't want to jinx myself. That's some pretty color. It's not showing up real nice on camera. It's definitely more of a peachier color than this. Let's see if I get closer. There, maybe that's a little better. Those plants were really root bound too in their pots, and I had to roughen up the roots, so they're daylilies. They'll bounce back. This is Stella d'Oro. It's getting some flower heads here. I'm surprised this one isn't blooming yet. This is also something I made with the leftover mixture from the Hypertufa trough. Just a little mushroom. The birds like to sit on that. Here's an Also Easy Rose. It's got gorgeous, kind of a coral color. That's just beautiful. Got lots of buds on that. I might have to give my chives a haircut here. It's looking a little ratty. Could partially be from me going in there and watering my plants, but another peony. This one's absolutely gorgeous. Just a single, and I like the singles. They tend to not flop. And this is huge. That's a huge size. I wish I could get my hand in there to show you. They're so gorgeous, the giant allium. Just perfectly formed. And I'll get him back too. Since they sprayed, I think the bugs will be pretty decent. Baptisia. False indigo. Oh, it's a beautiful morning. This is when gardening is fun. There's a light breeze. The scent of peonies. Great day to weed. This is just, oh, you can see the variegation of these leaves. My morning glory. That's loving it back there. It has really climbed. The diamond mountain in there looks great. I like how it just kind of peeks through the side there. Dahlias look pretty good, so I must get more sun than what I'm thinking. I think the mock orange is just a little tender, picky, if you want to say. I still have lots of blooms on those, on the dahlias. I'm trying to see if I can... Nothing blooming here yet. I could be wrong. Maybe those aren't buds. This tour might be a little bit longer. I'm just trying to get everything in. I planted up the only dahlia that I got to overwinter. I don't know what color it's going to be, so that'll be a surprise. These roses are just starting to open up. So I might end up doing another video once things start to open here. It'll be a shorter one. Oop, I forgot to put my shovel away. I'm going to show you this real quick, if it's not too sunny. So this container's doing okay, but you can see the Persian shield in here is just not getting any bigger. It just kind of stayed that size. You can see the coleus is definitely, and that hasn't been affected by aphids. But I pinched off the tips where they were just thick. I had also sprayed an insecticidal soap. So if you can see the size of this one versus that, and then I'll show you the other pot. Even the aphids were on the fuchsia here. A little bummed. But now if you look at this Persian shield, it just looks like a healthier container altogether. So I'm hoping that can right itself with a little bit of my help. Lilacs are done. I'll be trimming them up. Not today, but the one thing, once the lilacs are done blooming, I trim them right away as soon as I can, just because I don't want to affect next year's blooms. This morning glory is just huge. And when you think sometimes morning glory is about like that, but this is a nice size. And I got it for that reason, so it was a bit bigger. Most people think, oh, just a morning glory. It's really neat. Mandevilla vine is blooming. I thought it was going to be a little darker pink than that. It's still gorgeous, but I'm hoping it doesn't just blend in with the color of my arch. I have a lot of things that self-seeded down here. I'm thinking this is from the Mina plant. Lots of weeding to do down there. I'm thinking I might just leave one to see if I'm correct. These marigolds are just starting to bloom. They are so dainty. So that one is definitely lemon gem. Can you see all of my strawberries on? This is just loaded. I'm going to have to figure out a way to cover this. I can just see all of them. They're taking over my raspberries. But I guess survival of the fittest. This rose here. And it says it's going to bloom pretty much the whole season. Just kind of spread. I hope so, because I like that scent in the garden. I keep looking for aphids on that. Let's see here. Just kind of showing you some blooms. Popcorn plant. So neat. This definitely has filled in, hasn't it? It's gotten really big in here. I have a little weeding to do. I can see there's a morning glory vine down there. This is Tithonia, Mexican sunflower torch. It's gorgeous. I think I'm going to have to stake these up though, because they're starting to get really big. I can't believe how much growth. For a bit there, they were looking pretty scraggly, weren't they? And then it's like the roots got a really good hold. I have little markers by these. This is a Sure Thing zucchini. I'm going to have to thin that. I just kind of leave it to see whichever one looks the best. They all look really good. I'm going to feel bad doing that. This is pink lemonade. It's its first full year, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot from this. So we'll see if I like it as much as the other one. It's supposed to get, I think, about 4 to 5 feet tall. This is scallop squash. Again, it's all looking great, so I really hate thinning, but it has to be done. Just makes your plant so much stronger. This looks really good, except for, and I'm leaving it, I had planted it 3 times, and something just, wonder if it's, yeah, it's broken off all the way down there, so I'm just going to let it go. I'm not going to put a cage around it and whatnot. I figure if it's leaving the others alone, maybe it didn't like it in that spot. I can't wait to see what the calendula looks like. This is Julia Rose. It's just gorgeous. Don't you wish peonies lasted longer? Say even 2 weeks. I think the most they last is 1. It's such a shame. But I kind of say that about all the flowers. Another squash down here. See if I can get over here. My shadow's in the way. I'll bend down a little bit. And this is one of my roses. Oh, so easy. Isn't that gorgeous? I know most people don't like red in the garden, but I don't care. And it's loaded. Oops, looks like I have a broken right there. I'm just going to have to trim that. Hopefully it's not bug damage. Zinnias look really nice here. And the cosmos. I have some deadheading to do. I have that one. I was trying to pinch it, but they have strong little stems. So I definitely have to get my clippers out for that. I love the foliage on cosmos. How airy and lacy that looks. That's just gorgeous. I have to show you this too, because even the blossoms on my eggplant here are really pretty. And that one is called Patio Baby. More zinnias back here. I'm glad that I have different colors, because last year I felt like I had a lot of reds and oranges. It's just a mix. So it's not like I can kind of... I did have other ones picked out that were certain colors. They didn't do really good, but I want to say it was my soil. I still have some seeds from them. Next year I'll try it. But I'm just glad for the different colors. And there's a nice pink one back here. I have some cosmos in here. Can't wait. It is starting to get buds. This is a gorgeous color. This is absolutely gorgeous. I really like that magenta. I have another Morning Glory vine over here that I had started. This too is really pretty. It's funny from all those seeds. It was a certain variety, but I get all the different colors. That's kind of neat though. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one. I don't want to get rid of it because that is so pretty. Native plants, other plants here that I'm just going to have to recycle. I think I'm going to have to plant those native plants today before we get all that rain. Lots of weeding to do. I can finally get back here to do that today, so I'm kind of excited about that. Look at how big this clematis has gotten. I am amazed at the growth it's put on. I mean, when it pretty much started from ground level. I'm hoping I get blooms. I don't know what category these are, and I forgot the name of this one. But I think there's like, what, class A, B, and C, if I'm not mistaken. This Joe Pye looks a little but it always has, so, but I'm leaving it. It's still growing. Oh, there's a little dip there, sorry. I have another Astilbe down here. That one's doing pretty good. Looks like I have a weed in there that I have to get to. Sorry about my wind turbine. And here's this peony. I have cut a lot from this one. Aren't those seeds in there really neat looking with that bright pink? Oh, too close. Let's focus here. Once my peonies are done blooming, I will be trimming all of the flower heads off of them. And that way it can put all of its production into good roots. I suppose if you wanted to save the seeds, you could leave a couple on, but I don't. Again, I'm trying to, every time I come by this honeysuckle though, I try to see if it has a scent, and I can't smell anything. Okay, so that is it for this tour. So hopefully you'd enjoy it, and bye for now.